I'm part of, I'm a bully, Miss Red is a bully. You know, if you think I have, then say. Right, guys, everyone's, but I am going to fight back. I'm not doing it anymore. What I woke up to this morning, and as well, a couple of weeks ago, she made me feel that ill. I had to come off TikTok because I felt that ill from it all, from the stress.
Good morning.
Morning. You okay, pal?
I'm good, Ty. So I am coming on to address this morning. Everybody's saying me and Alex were as bad, but listen, from first thing yesterday morning, this crazy woman, and yes, I did call her that name because anybody who keeps thinking of children in that way has got a problem. They either think it, they watch things like that. That does never enter my head. So yes, I did call her Jimmy Savile. And I did put a picture up of her, Jimmy Savile. But for weeks and weeks, and when she's just said in that video, I've called her it for years. I've only knew her on the app for a couple of months. So that's a heap of shit to start off with. But listen, she can call me what she wants, do what she wants to me, but leave children out of the equation. End of. First thing yesterday morning till 3 o'clock this morning, that woman never had mine, Alex, Luke, your name, Jay, Zach, anybody that she could attack, she never had our names out of her mouth. So of course I'm going to go back to, I'm sick. Now, anybody has seen, I've never been in her boxes for weeks. I've just ignored her, but you can only ignore so much. She said, I want to say goodbye to my grandchildren because social services is coming and she's getting me stopped from seeing my grandchildren, right? There's nobody on this earth will stop me from seeing my grandchildren. But she wants to think that, you know, the sick things that she says. She's had my stomach twisted, and yes, I reacted to what she said, and I went in and said all kinds to her. But in the end, even her own chat was saying, enough is enough now, stop it. Stop saying that you're going below the belt. And I have got a video where, this is maybe a month since, where she comes out on a video and calls me a down and out peddler. I haven't posted that, but now I'm going to. I'm going to when people say the videos, it's two separate videos, but it's coming out of her mouth saying, yes, Pearl. First video saying, I'd never call anybody a peddler. Then it comes straight out, yes, Pearl, I'm saying it, you are a peddler. So listen, anybody else who was getting called them names, you would go in and fight your corner because that's what a decent human being does. But listen, do you know a friend that's watching who's writing whatever in the comments, instead of enabling her, winding her up so it's a car crash drama for yous, if you were true friends, go and get your friend help. It's obvious she needs help.
Yeah.
She's drinking herself into oblivion. She's destroying everything and everybody around her. She sits 24/7 on TikTok in that box room, even uses the floor for her ashtray because she doesn't come out. She piddles herself now on live, sits in the same clothes for days. And if you telling me that's not somebody with a problem, well, I'll eat her with a horse. But she's not using everybody around her as a scapegoat, so of course I'm going to go back at her. And that's what I'm saying on the matter, and that's end of. But friends who's in the chat, please go and get Angie help because she needs it. She, 1,000,000% you can see the drink has overtook her life, 1,000,000%. That woman needs help. So if you're that friendly with her and you think that much of her, please go and get your friend help before she puts herself somewhere where nobody had wanted to be seen. Honestly, and I mean that. But listen, that's all I'm saying on the matter. I'm not apologising for anything that I've said because she had me wound up like a spring all day yesterday. Of course, I went back to her. And I done that video, that screenshot of her, because anybody that keeps on about kids, dark web, doing things to kids, They're sick, they're twisted in the brain. And that's what she puts me in the mind of, Jimmy Savile. Yes, I've said it and I'm not taking it back. So nobody else is to blame. Alex is not to blame. I said to him to put that video up. Nobody else. I come out with the Savile name. Because anybody normal would not come out with the things what she does out of her mouth. Vile. Sorry, Miss Red. I've never come up for air, sorry.
No, that's what the boxes are for, Pearl. I've just spoken, you know, for 40 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So...
She's crucified me over my kids. Absolutely crucified. And I even get private messages where I can pull up. Private messages where what she says, she put a video, you know, Lawrence, I thought Lawrence was older than 20. She's that drunk on a video. She's even saying, Pearl, you've had Lawrence in your house and he's only 20. Firstly, I live in a trailer, right? I've never met Lawrence in my life, but I'll stand up where I think things are right. So she's just pickled in drink. Sorry, Miss Red, I'm not speaking no more. Go on.
Mm-hmm. Speak all you want, guys. If you want to turn your microphones off, please join in the conversation.
Miss Red.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Miss Red. I'm going to be quick because I pulled over, so I'm going to be really quick. Right. The trouble with Angie is she's going on at Pearl and she's causing all these problems with people having their grandchildren around them and everybody else like. I mean, it's Christmas time. It's the time you have your children around you, whatever age they be, whether they be 2, 22, whatever. It's Christmas time and you have your children around you. And that doesn't make you anything what Angie is trying to make allegations about Pearl to start off with. And secondly, last night Angie's behaviour was absolutely appalling. I was on the live last night with Alex and several other people, and I will tell you now, I have never been so disgusted in all my life. I swore that I would never ever go back in Angie's boxes again, because I don't say this with any malice or anything like that, but Angie is just nothing but an absolute troublemaker. Now, what was happening in her life last night, I can't say it, but they were calling people plastic S's, okay? And it really upset a lot of people. It upset me to the degree that I had to go into her life and ask her why she allowed SJ to use this and continue to use this behaviour in starting on handicapped people, but in a different way of saying it was absolutely foul and absolutely disgusting. Now, this Angie is nothing but a drunken person, okay, which is on medication, and she is drinking on this medication, and it's not doing anything right for her head. She is completely out of it. She was in complete denial of what was being said on her live, and as far as I'm concerned, Miss Red, if you had people in your life and people were saying stuff in your life, you would want to know everything what was being said, and if you did not agree with it, you would shut that person down. Exactly, shut that person down.
I won't have, you know, derogatory things in the live or the boxes.
Exactly. I'm going to go in a second, but I'm just going to say, those people what were in that live last night, even Massa had to bring this SJ down a peg or two. There will be other people talk about it more in depth, but I will tell you something now. Anybody what follows that Angie are nothing but trolls, and they are people what are encouraging her to be the way she is.
I agree. It's a lot of people around
drunken person. I love you all. Thank you so much for letting me in. Love every single one of you. I hope you have a lovely day. But I had to come in and just say, her behaviour is inexcusable. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Buster.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, sweetheart. Love you.
Bye, darling.
Hi, Miss Red. How are you?
Hi, darling.
I just thought I'd pop on quickly. Like, I've watched you a long time, and not once have I seen you go back at anybody. And I don't know how you've kept it that way, to be honest with you. So all the people in you are going to stand by you no matter what.
Yeah.
And with Pearl as well. But
Yeah.
the people that are friends with Angie need to take a step back and look in the mirror. And that's not a friendship. You're making that woman into a deep hole, and it's getting deeper and deeper. If you were friends with someone, you take them out of that situation and get the help they need.
Yeah.
So they need to really take a step back and look at what they're doing to that woman. Regardless, she shouldn't be saying what she's saying, but they're not friends, and I definitely wouldn't want to be in a circle like them, to be honest with you. But Miss Red, Pearl, just keep doing you. You're amazing people.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. Like, it's so hard for me. Like I say, I have had problems with people. You know, me and Evil Queens had our historic, which I say iconic beef. You know, but it's not continuously, and you know, we've made up and braked up and made up and braked up. But when I've had like beef with people, there's that compassion there where they know when to stop, and you know, they'll reach out and they'll apologise and things like that. Do you know what I mean? But with Angie, it's just relentless. There's no like compassion there. There's you know, it's just relentless, and you hit on a very valuable thing. People around her are not doing her any favours, because she had an amazing platform with the debates and everything. You know, I used to love going in there, watching the debates, but what we are seeing is we're seeing her demise through the influences around her. Do you get what I'm saying? People are winding her up, and they're inciting hate in her room. You know, shit stirring in her comments, and it's pushing her to do all
just
these.
laughing behind her back, and friends don't do that. Friends pick you up when you're at your lowest. They're there at your happiest times, not to sit there and just throw all these horrible things around and then get other people to argue with her. That's not right. They need to stop. Because
The thing is, though, they all encourage her and enable her and agree with her and defend her, and she says the worst things and the back her, and they've got morals of alley cats, the whole lot of them.
Yeah.
For what she says and what goes on in that live, she doesn't control anything, and then when she does it all for views, she plays devil's advocate, and then when there's something really controversial, she'll play innocent and say she didn't hear it, she didn't know what it meant,
or
but
she'll
then
Google it
and repeat it and repeat it. It's just she needs help big time. She's seriously
I'm going to jump out, lovely, and I'll be in the comments, but keep smashing being you.
Oh, thank you, Kimmy.
Big love.
Lots of
Miss
Red, if you think back to everybody that she's argued, right, and their personal situation, so the fifth count of your granddaughter, calling Pearl the names that she's called Pearl, the argument she's had with Alex.
Hey everyone.
The list goes on and on. She then calls those people the worst of the worst and expects zero retaliation back. Now, I'm sorry, but there's only so much one person can take.
Thank you.
Alex sat silent for so long, looked out for her, and whatever. And what did she do? Make out like he was a predator. Now, I'm sorry. I have sat and I have watched Alex live. I don't say what he's done wrong. Yeah, he's made edits, but I'm not going to lie. I've pissed myself at the edits he's made. But that's my sense of humour, and we're not going to always agree on what he's done, but everybody does have a different sense of humour.
Yeah.
So when she's drunk, to call people rapists and pedolos and say that they're in servers and they're doing the most disgusting of things, it can't be excused with alcohol. I'm sorry, it can't.
I agree with that.
The people that are in her boxes need to shut that shit down and say, Angie, give your fucking head a wobble, love.
But they did do that last night. They did. And you know something? Everybody's mentioning a poor lady called Dino. It was heartbreaking to watch her last night. She's Angie's biggest gifter. She got blocked, unblocked, talked to absolutely disgusting.
Dino did.
Dino did, and she went back in there to still make peace with Angie.
She came over to Pearl's side to say, you know, could you stop? Could you just Angie's quite upset. Obviously, Pearl and Alex were really upset by what's been going on, and being called a pedlo and having you saying that social services are going to get involved with your grandchildren, you've every right to be upset. And I think that she uses alcohol not only as a crutch but as an excuse for the things that she's doing. Yeah. I've seen her going downhill since her dog died, so she's obviously still in some form of grief and depression, which, I mean, maybe her dog was more important to her than anything else. So I kind of understand that, but it's not an excuse for the behaviour that she's exhibiting. It's not an excuse to go around calling people everything and then saying, oh, delusive is an act. It's an act, and that I never said that it was an excuse. I think if you listened, I said it wasn't an excuse.
Of all days, all Christmas Day, I wasn't on TikTok on Christmas Day till the night time. She slated each and every one of us. Who is going to do that on a Christmas Day?
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Pearl.
Can I ask you something, Pearl, a minute? Didn't she say, and can you please correct me if I'm wrong, didn't she say she was going to ruin each and every one of your Christmases?
Yeah.
So you're misread Alex's.
Because, listen, everybody is saying that I started this. I've got a video that I've sat on for a couple of months. I don't know if your letters misread, but I can't even get this video up. I had to send it to somebody to show them it last night.
Yeah.
Alex, have you still got that video?
Of course, I've got it, yeah.
Misread, can you play it, please? This is where it started from.
I can send it to you, Misread, if you want.
The thing is, I can't play it while I'm on my second device. Is Dino in the box? Someone said Dino's in the box.
Oh, is she?
Well, Dino was lovely. I mean, at the start I wasn't too sure, but to be fair with her, she did try and just keep the base.
About Dino last night.
Can I just follow on for something that what Wolf Cub said? Obviously, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I respect that. I feel that when you've just said that, it's ever since a dog passed away, like she's got worse. Well, way before that, for 8 months, Angie called me a peddler for 8 months.
It's disgusting behaviour to call anybody that with no evidence. I'm not saying that you are, Alex. I'm just saying that you know, there's no evidence to back up those claims. It's just you're using terms that are harsh, that you're trying to become throwaway terms, and they're never going to be. They're too upsetting to be a throwaway term.
Yeah, but let's all be honest now. The word pedalo means nothing on this app anymore. Off the app, it's a totally different story. If you found out there was a pedalo on your streets, you would be doing every fucking thing to get that person off your street, and you know what I mean, no matter how you go about it. But calling people pedalos on this app now is like calling people a twat. Let's all be honest. There's no meaning to that word anymore. And as soon as we start taking the importance off that word, that's when the real people start getting away with things.
Well, yeah, that's very true, Alex. And I just jumped up. Morning, everyone. First things first, I want to just say, as it was pinned in the comments, Misread, you are probably the only one who stuck to the truth. I was in that box with you all when it was made. Second of all, Angie's comments are ruthless. She came for me for no reason, and no one on this app can sit there and say anything or prove anything that I've ever said anything derogatory, nasty, anything about that woman. But I got involved in a situation which Ange decided to insert herself, and the amount of hatred that was incited on me because of that, I was deemed as a bully, passive-aggressive, God knows what else. Now I'm a snake, and now I'm a prank caller, which is absolutely hilarious. But yeah, the amount of hatred that's been incited on me. But what Angie seems to fail to tell everyone, that even though I don't agree with some of the disgusting things that have come out of her mouth, away from this platform, I showed genuine concern for that woman. I offered genuine help. I offered and gave her genuine advice of the people that she has around her, and I felt they were putting her back down into this downward spiral. And even though I didn't agree, as a human being, it's not nice to see someone go through that. So I offered that genuine concern. And then I don't normally jump up to feel the need to defend myself, because frankly, I don't actually care about the opinions. But yesterday, I wasn't given the opportunity to get in the box and say my piece, because I would have quite happily, like I am now. And so I had no choice but to go into Alex's box and say what I needed to. I've had private conversations with Alex, and I don't always agree with some of the things he's done. But at the same time, I'm also an adult, and everyone has the right to retaliate. I understand. But this word of using the peddalo, I'm sick of hearing PLM. I really am. Yes. Everyone's taking the seriousness away from these actual words. And it's just got to a point where someone like myself, who's not actually done anything, but you're inciting this hatred on me, you can't prove one thing I've ever done anything wrong to you. So what's your excuses for that one then, guys?
Yeah. Well said, Joe.
Yeah.
Well said, Jojo.
Joe, well said.
Like, Angie did come for Jojo for no reason. Anybody that knows Jojo, when she fires up a live, anybody's welcome. No matter who you're friends with, if you've got a beef, it's like a mutual platform. Jojo will sit on mute and you just kind of hash it out on that platform. Jojo can't do that now.
What I've noticed with Angie, right, and by the way, guys, thank you for the love. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, everybody. What I've noticed with Angie, right, and this is by no means a hate live. This is because obviously it's all over the FYP. My name and everybody else's name has been mentioned, and I have to talk about this. And from now on, if my name is mentioned, I am going to be talking about things. I'm not holding back anymore, because she is inciting hate on me. She said this morning she wants to destroy my platform. Well, I'm not going to allow that to happen. But I just want to say, if you're not playing by Angie's tune, this is what she does to you. So because I remain friends with Alex, is one of my best friends now, this is why she does this, because she doesn't want, if it's not her way, it's by get attacked and the highway. That's Angie, that's who she is. People are going to start seeing her true colours, and I think people are. I've not said a word, but I'm not staying silent anymore.
No, you shouldn't have to.
Morning.
Morning.
Can I just have 2 minutes, Alex?
Yeah, sorry.
2 minutes, yeah. I sat and watched until 4 o'clock this morning, and can I just say, Pearl, my heart broke for you last night, what were getting said. Now, I ain't taking any sides. I'm not taking Angie's side, Pearl's side, anybody's side. But can I just say, I've seen better behaviour in my son's playground. It's an absolute disgrace that I sat and watched both lives last night on 2 devices. One on yours, Alex, I was watching your live, and I was watching Angie's. Yeah, and the people that were jumping from one to other to the other, and Alex's live weren't all innocent, Angie's live weren't all innocent, and these meant to be adults, you know, and these children on this app, because it's from the age of 13. Now, you know, it's on the FYP all this morning. Now, you've only shown the video about what got said to Pearl, but there was also some nasty things that also got said towards Angie and people in Angie's boxes too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which are out there. And I respect you, obviously. I've watched you for months and months, Miss Red, and I love you a bit. And when you went missing, I was like, where the hell's she gone? You know, but last night, and I'll say it, and my friends are in comments, my heart went out for Pearl because of how she literally brought her down with some of the words. They were nasty, they were wrong. But then there's people obviously also saying, you know, that people are enabling her and all the rest of it. I just want people to put their hand up and take a bit of accountability, because Alex, you're not all innocent, you know, and for people to all sit in your box laugh. I mean, I watched it laughing and joking like I'd watched my child in his playground joking about playing, what time is it, Mr. Fox? It was an absolute joke. Now, I know Angie was absolutely trolled with alcohol, and, you know, that don't make it an excuse because my dad's an alcoholic and I don't agree with it. So I'm not going to sit there and say that's an excuse. But we're adults. Are we not meant to be showing an example in all this? And it's all been happening over Christmas. I mean, it were only 4 days ago before Christmas, wasn't it, Alex, that I sat and watched so many lives about you getting outed on the lies that you'd said, and you come back them up on all different people's lives. And then again, it's you went quiet them for a little bit, and then it's all come back again, and it's Angie's fault. The only person I feel sorry for in this is Pearl.
Can I just say something, please? You show me one lie that I've been outed on now.
I can't show you nothing. I watched it. I was just watching lives. I was just flicking through it, and
I've
there
never
was
been
quite a lot of
outed on
people
that.
talking about it. You something about, is it Felicity? See, I don't even know all these names.
I think it was the lives, Alex. Do you mind whenever it was like 8 people on you trying to say you done X, Y, Z, blah, 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 but not a bit of proof was shown?
No, you said something about, is it Felicity and Nikki's child and her being on this Discord group, and
Jojo,
and you said you'd show her proof.
Yeah,
and
Nikki's
then,
actually one of my best friends away from this platform, and that's been sorted.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I haven't been sorted, but what I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying. 4 or 5 days ago, that day were all about you.
But there was no lies in that situation. Unfortunately, that was the thing is there was crossed information. No one was lying in that whole situation.
But this is what I'm saying. But as a viewer, that's how we seen it. Seen it like, you know, you went quiet and everybody were all like, oh, look at him, you know, he's gone quiet. I'm just saying what I've seen, Alex, not what I've got proof of.
I went quiet because it was Christmas and I was spending it with my family.
No, the truth of, I'll speak on that situation because I was very much involved, like I said. No, the truth of the matter is, yes, there was some questions that were raised. However, like adults, it was then sorted out away from the platform, which they gave you all the grace of coming on to let you know it was sorted like adults, but that still wasn't good enough. At the end of the day, Alex provided what he needed to provide. Nikki was satisfied. Felicity was satisfied with that. And yes, it was down to a miscommunication of other people being in each other's ears, winding up a situation.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I mean. And it's all like a miscommunication and Chinese whispers. It's stupid. There's people losing their lives over TikTok, and you know, there's people out there dying of the big C word, and you know, there's people starving, and we're all watching this, and you know, it makes me sick. It really does make me sick that people need to start taking accountability, putting their hands up and being the bigger person and going, right, yeah, I've said that, I've said this, I'm wrong, but however, let's just leave it. It needs to stop.
The thing
Steph, sorry, 1 minute, guys. Steph, do you mind if I can drop you to let more people in, please?
No problem, darling. Thank you.
Thank you for joining, my love.
Happy New Year, my darling.
You too, sweetheart. Happy New Year. Come on, Alex. Sorry.
I'll hold my hands up. I'm not innocent, like, I'll be honest with you, like, but I think people, if you stand and take a step back and actually see what has actually happened, then you'll obviously make your own mind up, because for 4 days I was off the app. I was spending time with my family, and my child was spoken about. I was made out to be some sort of weirdo, a stalker. I was a danger. I was involved in DV. All of these strong accusations, right, with not one bit of proof. So why don't people go and ask Angie for the evidence and proof that I am all this? Because everyone's quick to point the finger at me and say, oh, Alex, show proof this, which 99% of the time I will show the proof. But that people ain't happy with that. But yeah, it's okay for Angie. No one will go over and say to Angie, please show the proof. You'll take that woman's word on gospel.
Yeah, I agree.
Can I just say, right?
I've just got to jump down because my district nurses are here. But if you still back on Miss Red when I come back in, I'll join in. Okay, thank you.
Bye, darling.
Bye.
Come on, Jen.
I just feel, right, so if that was you lot, and you were being constantly spoke about, saying that you're a predator, you're a peddler, you're this, you're that, blah, blah, what's it? Are you telling me, and I know every single one of you are going to lie, or are you going to tell me that you would sit back and allow that, or let your family member be called and slated all over an app?
Absolutely.
Come on, honestly, get a fucking grip.
Seriously, at the end of the day, what do you lot suggest that we do then? Sit back and just say, oh, it's just because she's drunk, man. She's, you know, she's just too much to drink. She's suffering, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of us, we just don't tell you, but all because we don't tell you doesn't mean we ain't going through shit. All right. So I'm just saying, we are allowed to defend ourselves, but some of us have actually sat back and not said a fucking word. But it doesn't work though, does it? So unless one of you counselling people in here want to come in here and mediate and tell us what the fuck to do, then hurry up and get a solution for it. Because we've all done it. We've all tried to stay silent. It doesn't work with this woman. What don't you get?
But Jay, you're never going to find a solution with her.
Yes, but Nikki, why should everyone have to sit back and just allow it then?
You shouldn't.
And then when we retaliate or when we say something like now, we're going to get slated. I was asleep in my fucking bed, snug as a bug in a rug. And I wake up this morning, right? I wake up this morning, she's going to the police, this, and oh my God, I've not even said anything. So what do you suggest that we all do now?
Oh, kill my dog for a start. Shh. But I genuinely don't believe that there is anything that you can do with somebody who is so antagonistic and who is so
vile and lonely
and so unwilling to take.
But you know what it is, Nikki, as well? What's pissing me off is that, like, even Miss Red, all she did was say hello to Alex in a box this morning and straight. Well, you're all saying Alex started it. No, he did not. No, he didn't. This is how tunnel vision you actually are. So you don't see anything else. So what she has said about Alex and about everybody else, about Pearl, about Miss Red, about me, about Zach. So it's all right. Is that okay? Yeah. So Alex isn't allowed. Alex, listen, you're not allowed to defend yourself anymore. One, because you're a bloke. Secondly, because you should know that she's vulnerable, even though she says that she's not. Yeah. So from now on, Alex, you sit back and take all the shit whilst all these people enable this woman to say the worst about you and your kids. Yeah. We'll just sit back and allow it. We'll do that. Okay.
But the thing is, how dare any of you take time off the app to spend it with your family? Because that's also giving her room for going at you because you're not there to defend yourselves.
I'm not saying that. Listen, I'm not saying Pearl's innocent. I'm not saying Alex is innocent. I'm not saying anyone is innocent. But what I'm saying is that we've tried to take the accountability. You all saw it, the truth thing, yeah?
Yep.
You all saw it?
Yeah.
And then, because Alex has defended himself because she's had a little slip up and said a little something that wasn't great about Alex and he's retaliated, that means you've all forgotten, you've all got such a clouded view. This app is fucking insane. You all defend people that are actually in the wrong. It's nuts. And let me tell you something, right? Everybody in Angie's are pretending to be a fucking friend. Get that woman a doctor's appointment, because if you were any sort of friend and actually give a shit about her, the woman's going grey in the face, right?
She looks like a skeleton.
Heavily, and you are claiming to be a fucking friend.
But I just want to jump on.
You love it and you love the entertainment. Sorry, Jojo, I'm fuming. You all love the entertainment. You love it when she drags us all. You absolutely love it. I tell you what you are. You're all fucking enablers. You want to get that woman to the fucking doctors. That's what you need to be doing. If you're that much of a friend that you say you are, then act on it then.
Right. And on top of that, Jay, I just want to point out, so when Alex isn't on, okay, if Alex is on and you have not said one bad word about this person, best believe expect an inbox if you jump in that box.
God, all Zach did was get a lion the other day and the woman was cussing him out on the live stream. Fuck's sake. You can't do anything on here without saying anything. So do you know what? Go to the police, go to the government. I don't give a shit. Go to the fucking parliament. No one cares. I'm done with it.
The thing is, right?
Do you know what I mean? What more can you do? You can say sorry to her, but it will never be enough. It will never, ever be enough for this woman. You can get on your knees. You've got Charlie in her box, which is the one that started all this in the first place with the whole thing. We've not even mentioned it or spoke about it because we respected her wishes, yeah? That she didn't want it to be spoken about, but that is all she has spoken about against us. And we can't say anything because, yeah, all right, we were in the wrong, but we've apologised so many times. It was good enough. And now it's not good enough. It'll be good enough tomorrow, and then it'll be not good enough. It's what the fuck?
Yeah, and I agree with that, Jay, because everyone who saw it's on the one of the drama pages. I allowed Alex and a few others to come into my box Christmas Day, did we not, Alex?
Yeah.
As yourself, you know, I wasn't really paying attention to my live. I was dealing with other things. I have a routine. Anyway, I came on, I'm the bigger person, and I came on Mother Teresa's live, and I apologise if my platform was used in that way, because no, I don't normally allow that. I apologise, guys. I admitted my faults, my wrongdoings, and that still wasn't good enough, and I've still been dragged every single day since.
Yeah. The thing is, there's a lot of people in here. Sorry, Pearl. There's a lot of people in this live now, right? They're saying, you know what, Alex started it, right? We all seen what happened. Like, you can obviously everyone's going to stand up for who they support. That's fair enough. Like, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Zach the Brat was in this live and he said, "Can everyone now just call it now? Stop talking about each other. Let's leave it and we'll move on." I agreed. Literally 1 a.m. in the morning, I was asleep. I got a screen recording in the morning. Everyone's seen it, and she starts talking about me, running me down again, saying that I was a danger to women. Everyone's seen this, right? But yet you won't actually stand up and say, you know what, okay, Angie started at that time, and then I left the app for 2 days because a lot of stuff was going on, obviously, in my life, because obviously whatnot, and she was still had someone in a box after another truce, and she started talking about me. So please don't say it's me. I'm not innocent, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying I'm innocent in the whole thing. However, if you're saying I've started it, that's a lie.
I'm just shocked. Like, you've heard the most disgusting stuff being said, but you're all happy to sit there and be like, yeah, but it was Alex. It was Alex. Fucking hell. Seriously, grow up. Honestly. Get a life.
So what about when people are saying stuff about Pearl, or obviously my daughter and other people in these boxes, yeah? And she just gets away with it, sitting there drinking and drinking and drinking, taking diazepam, and just totally being really off a cake. I think the white men in coats need to take her away, to be honest. And you know, without all this clout that she's getting from Alex, she'd be no one, because she doesn't create anything. She'd have literally nothing to talk about except looking at the white walls in the bedroom. Simple.
Not now, she doesn't.
And I remember when I played the video, the thing is, there's people that are agreeing with his behaviour. Like I said, each their own, and everyone. I played a video where Angie stated that Down syndrome people shouldn't have children and stuff like this. But everyone seems to think this woman, what she says, is super acceptable. Like, let's be honest now, it isn't. And I think sometimes the enablers become worse than the perpetrators, because if you can't correct it, we don't know right from wrong on this app anymore. And that's the problem.
Yeah, and she even I've said about Marnie going out dancing when she went to the pub one night, and there's a video of her dancing. Like, Marnie shouldn't be going out doing that because she got anxiety and whatever else.
Oh my God,
you know, where does she get off to do that? You know, Marnie can go and do whatever she wants, and Angie shouldn't be commenting on Marnie's life at the end of the day, or anyone's life at the end of the day.
But the thing is, people
saying things that she's
Alex
saying
did a live about her, and that's why I couldn't give a shit. I don't care how many times I have to say it, and I'll say it again. I don't give a shit what Alex does on his live. That doesn't mean that I'm involved. I'm fucking asleep. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to record myself being asleep so you know I'm not involved? What the hell? Miss Red only goes in and says hello to Alex, and it's not all right. Like, I'm sorry, but how can you? I actually feel fucking controlled here that we can't even go into Pearl's live. Do you know what? I messaged that woman the other day and I said, listen, Ange, please, let's not talk about it anymore. Look, Alex started all this. Yeah, all right, Tanya. That's probably Angie as well on a fake account. That's boring. Take
Most of them are fake accounts, Jay. Sorry, I'm just going through them. They've got no followers or anything.
Oh, Alex started it.
Even if Alex did start it, she was keeping it going and going and going and going. He never started it. He was in the box with you, supporting you the whole time. I've had my beef with Alex.
Fuck off and all. See you later.
But you, Angie, you're out of order, the things that you're saying to these people on this app, especially Pearl. And I think you're absolutely disgusting, woman. Absolutely disgusting.
But we haven't said anything. The thing is, we're getting shit for it, yeah?
So I have blocked her on every account that she is doing, right? I've blocked her on everything. But she keeps making fake accounts and coming back at us. And do you want to know something? Listen.
Mother Teresa wants to let her in.
I am as much to blame, but I'm not going to keep sitting there and letting her say things about my grandchildren. And yes, I call her them names, but I'm not going to sit and let her talk about my grandchildren.
Yeah, but it's not just obviously saying stuff about the grandchildren, Pearl. It's like calling you a name. That's absolutely disgusting. Like, what's that about?
Teresa, have his say.
Let's speak to Mother Teresa, please.
Yeah, come on.
Speak up.
Sorry, guys, my phone's gonna die.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear ya.
Okay, so what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to come in here and I'm not going to scream and shout because we all know that.
Yeah, well, we don't want it anyway.
Okay, so I'm going to sit here and have an adult conversation with people, and then obviously we'll see where we move forward from here. So I just want to go back to the initial thing. I keep on hearing, getting branded quite a lot, that the people sitting in Angie's boxes are enablers. But I will point out, every single person sitting in this live has sat in Angie's box.
Absolutely, yeah, we have, absolutely.
And sat there for months. Not just weeks. Have sat there for months.
Yeah, but Angie weren't acting the way she was months ago, though.
Sorry, Tanya. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who are in the box who are involved.
Well, I'm in the box, son, so you're all talking.
You're not involved in this situation.
Come on, guys. I'm not involved, but I've got dragged into it.
So that's the first thing.
I've never been in since. So.
Second thing that I just want to clarify is, Pearl. So I understand, that obviously these comments have been made in relation to you saying that Angie called you a peddler. I will point out how it did actually start. It started over the transphobia argument, and you called her Angie Savile. So then she retaliated and called you a peddler. So then that's been a forward and back argument going forward and back for weeks, but she wasn't the instigator. It was you who started it.
I've just said that on the live. I was the first one to call her that. I've just said that.
She has just said that.
Sorry, what I heard you saying was you had a video of where she called you a first and then you've retaliated and called her
Angie Savile. Called me a peddler.
I've been in here since 10 o'clock.
I called her Jimmy Savile.
Yeah, I've been here since 10 o'clock, so I have watched it all. And then just in relation to the Alex situation, I know this is forward and back between Alex and Angie, but I will point out a few facts, okay? Angie only retaliates to what she actually sees. So she sees videos. We get some videos all the time. I know you said that you weren't on over Christmas, but I got sent a video at 6:45 in the morning where you were on slating us, which is what Jojo's on about. That's the conversation where she come into me live. And I think it's a lot of forward and back. I don't know if anyone else agrees. It is a lot of forward and back, isn't it? Because we all say one thing. And
MC, can I just say one thing on that while I've got you here?
Go on.
So I came into your box and I showed you the respect, did I not?
You did, yeah.
I sat there and I admitted my wrongdoings, did I not?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, so then...
while you're here, can I show you this video I've been going on about?
I can apologise.
I've seen it this morning. You don't need to show me. I've already
Tell me why, MT. I can apologise then. I can admit my wrongdoings, but I can still get dragged and said some of the most disgusting things about me.
Yeah.
So have you spoken to the person directly who said it to you?
Yep.
And what did they say?
Well, they wouldn't let me in to talk to me.
So you haven't spoken to them directly then?
Well, not directly, no, but you were in the box when it was carried on.
When you're saying that these disgusting things were said about you, yeah?
Yeah.
Was there and physically witnessed it yourself? Or is it off recordings that was sent?
Yeah, I mean, after I came in and apologised, I was still called a bully, I was still called a snake, and the comments were absolutely vile.
I mean, to be honest, we've been called a lot worse, don't you agree?
Yeah, no, I know, but when I'm someone who's very far from that, and I've never done anything, and what you don't know is what I do behind the scenes and what I've actually done for that woman.
Right, okay. I mean, I don't know your situation personally. It's something that you'd have to discuss with Angie. I'm just here as a reflection of everything that we see. Because obviously this live's been very active. And it's fine if it's going to be active, but it just shouldn't be one side of a story. Do you get what I mean? Because all we're seeing
Mother Teresa, can I just stop you there? I'm putting my side of the story across, obviously, because she's 6 and she doesn't. My name doesn't leave her mouth, so I'm using my platform to speak my side of the story. So can I just say, Mother Teresa, do you think that it's fair that she can talk about me continuously and I can't give my side over?
So obviously you have a right to defend yourself, as we all do.
No, but she's not allowed though, is she, MT? She's not allowed.
Are you going to allow me to speak, or is every single one of you, when I'm having a conversation with one person, just going to interrupt to have your 50 pence worth?
Go on.
Because I can do that.
You enable it as well.
If you really want me to, I can sit here and have an argument with every single one of you in the box. That's not what I come here to do.
Just get to the point.
That wasn't what I come here to do, was it? That wasn't what I come here to do.
You're her biggest enabler.
So, but listen, you're sitting here saying I'm an enabler, but you all sat there for months and enabled it. So
until she started something.
No, until one person fell out with her. Until one person.
8 weeks ago.
No, until one person fell out with her. When one person fell out with her, you all started to fall out with her. And then
she
what
started
happened?
it.
That's not true, Mother Teresa, because
she started it.
Mother Teresa, sorry guys, when her and Alex fell out, I specifically so many times said to Ange, I'm not taking sides, I want to be both of your friends. That weren't good enough for her, Mother Teresa, and I can pull the proof up now. I weren't allowed to be Alex's friend.
Right, okay. I'm going to spin this a different way, yeah, and we'll just see how if you look at it from this perspective, okay? So I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you all talk about Angie being an alcoholic and Angie likes to consume drink, which we all know anyway. She admits that herself, she likes to drink, okay? I will point out alcoholism is actually a vulnerability. It is also classed as a medical condition as well. Although I'm not condoning that, I'm just giving you the facts because I'll talk facts, I won't talk fiction. So I want to spin it a different way. So can I ask, do you think it's acceptable for 8 people to bully someone who's vulnerable?
Can I answer that? Can I answer that? Sorry, the newbie. Mother Teresa, can I answer that question for you?
Of course you can, yeah.
The reason that was kind of like a perfect time for me to come in. Yes, I motherfucking do. And shall I tell you why, Mother Teresa?
Yeah.
Because in this world, which we teach our kids and you teach the world, yeah, you give out, okay, I'll tell you why, because I've been the only girl. I was that black girl in a box full of 8 other racist people. She allowed to jump up, people in her comments allowed to call me names that were physically affecting me, that have affected me, calls me PTSD, spoke about things like rape, spoke about all different kinds of traumas, different people's races, different people's religions, different people's identities. The list goes on. So guess what? If you don't want that, honey, baby, boo-boo, Angie, don't do it, because I don't have that in my life. No one's making lives on me going on and on and on and on, to, like, slagging me off. I love a drink. It's Wine Wednesdays every week for Paige over here. We know that. We love it and we endorse it. But no one comes to me, and I'll tell you why, Mother Teresa, because I'm not a bully. I don't bully the vulnerable. You can't sit there and say she's vulnerable when she screams, oh, I'm glad this person got raped, and then the next night when she's hungover and got session depression, she's crying, screaming victim. No.
Can I also say, sorry, can I also say that, Paige, I would take that as a valid argument, yeah? But the only thing is, I'm not going to sit here and take that as a valid argument because I've watched you on your live bully people. So that's just hypocritical, isn't it?
But I've
Let's be honest.
bullied, I'll openly say that. There's no one you could ever say that I've bullied that is vulnerable or is sad or anything. The person that I'll bully is if you come for me and you try and bully me, guess what? You're now a bully. It's fair game, babe. You're not vulnerable. You're not smaller than me. I'm not hurting you. You're not scared. You're not scared of me, Mother Teresa. If you're not scared of me, I'm not bullying you.
You're all sitting in here saying Angie's this, Angie's that, Angie's a bully, but then I'm sure you don't need to go and look at what you do.
Can I ask you one question, Mother Teresa?
Of course you can. Of course you can.
Is this true or is this false? You know, when Angie's live's going quiet, how many people say, who can we go into? Have a look who's on live. Let's go and cause drama.
Okay, so it's not a have a look who's on live, let's go cause drama kind of kettle of fish. I'll tell you what it is. So if you're on about yesterday's live,
just own it though, Mother Teresa. This is the thing. It's not about politics. It's not about who's right or wrong. It's not about morals. This is TikTok. It's a very toxic app. You know it's toxic, yeah? People love the drama. The thing is with Angie, own it. She loves the clout of the drama. Own it.
Are we here to have an adult conversation, or are you?
Yeah, I'm waiting for an answer.
I mean, I'm trying to respond back to you, Impel, but unfortunately people keep on talking over me, so that's how we don't resolve things, isn't it? Because we're all supposed to be adults here, let's be honest.
Right, there's only me and you talking, right. So, does that happen in that live, yes or no?
Okay, so as I said to you before, in relation,
yes
in relation
or no?
to the comment, what you're saying, where you're saying, are we going around saying cause murder? It's not a case of we want to cause murder with all
and
you.
It wasn't just yesterday, Mother Teresa. When that live is going very, very quiet and there's not a lot of views in, and I've heard you say it as well, and I'm saying it to your face as well as many others that's in the box. Right, let's cause drama. This is too nicey.
So the answer is yes.
Done it loads of times. the answer is yes, but not to use personally. It doesn't. It doesn't involve.
So it's not
use.
to use personally now because someone's asking you.
It's not just used personally. No, because collectively, it's anyone.
You're saying that now just because people have asked. MT.
No, I think
you're not going to take any responsibility. I'm going to jump for what she does or how she makes people feel.
I think that the situation revolves around. Sorry, I think you think that this situation always revolves around you, and Angie's lives always revolves around one of you, but that's not the case. Okay, so if you spent more time, if you spent more time in there, actually talking to her rather than sitting there trolling her on backup accounts or going to watch videos that have been put up with
I haven't got any troll backup accounts
that have been clipped.
I don't get how you can sit there and say about a troll though.
Important of the story, aren't you? But if you sit there collectively as a group and watch the whole live from start to finish, if you watch it from start to finish, you'll understand what it is that goes on in that live.
Okay, did it warrant Miss Red getting attacked this morning? MT, yes or no? Was it warranted that Angie... No, wait, you're not letting me finish either now. So Miss Red went into Alex's box and all she said was hello. Now, then she got fucking a shit load of hate from Angie. Is that warranted, yes or no?
Okay, well, I wasn't there, so I can't comment, can I?
Oh, of course you can't, MT.
Mother Teresa, can I ask you one question as someone that backs her a lot of this?
I talk facts. I won't sit there and say a comment on something that I haven't seen.
I'm telling you that, that is what's happened. So you talk
right, that's what
I haven't seen it, so I can't comment. So if I've
do
seen
you think Angie is stable enough to be on social media platform having the views and stuff that she does? Do you think she's a stable enough person? You're talking about vulnerability then, so do you think she's stable enough?
Of course I do. She's an adult. Have you seen the people who are on this?
So if she's an adult to be stable enough to be on social media to take all of this in and give it all out, I don't get what you're doing in the box defending her in the first place. Own it. The thing is that this app is toxic. It's toxic, and we all like a bit of drama sometimes, and we all indulge in it. But the rest of us get on with our daily business, Mother Teresa. However, Angie doesn't. You're sitting there saying that it doesn't involve every single person in this box. At one point, she's spoken about every single person because she talks about everybody. That is her only form of clout entertainment. That's the only thing she can offer. Okay, is drama, and it's not even drama to the point of it's interesting, like EastEnders. Give us a good storyline, a bit of a cliffhanger. What she does is all for shock value. She gets drunk. Yeah. She says the most shocking things. She knows she doesn't back it. The thing she said about me, the thing she said about Pearl, the thing she said about Miss Red. In reality and true facts, I think even our biggest trolls know that we're not these things, okay? But she's not intelligent enough to give us an actual conversation. Or even if you're going to come to an argument with us, you're not even intelligent enough to argue back. Your vocabulary does not expand to the point of actual intelligence to come to say anything of value apart from, oh, you're a peddler. Oh, you're racist. Oh, no, you're drunk and you're it's shock factor. Okay. That is my point. So don't sit there in a corner and try and make us feel morally bad.
Let me just answer. Sorry, no, Mother Teresa, I want to ask you a question because I'd like this to all be understood for everyone who's... I admire the fact that you've come in and you're taking it and you're doing it in a really calm manner, and actually you're quite eloquent in the way you're positioning yourself. What I'm going to say to you is within the next 3 to 6 months, you're going to be in here, because she's going to rinse and repeat on you like she's done with everybody who goes in and has her back and supports her. That's all I want to say. So be careful about how you align yourself, because it seems to me like you could have your own platform, but you stay in there. Well, this is actually at the sort of end game stage with her. You're just not going to come back from it, love.
MT, you will end up where
100% cockapoo.
She's going to turn on you, and it's coming as well. Don't worry, it is coming. Everyone can see it. And then you're going to be in here with us, because that's just where we all end up.
Mother Teresa.
Okay, well, look, respectfully, I speak to Angie, so I'm not gonna.
Mother Teresa,
sorry.
You could have your own platform, because listen, have you ever heard me badmouth you? No, because I've never ever heard you badmouth me, right?
No, he's just turned all against us, Pearl, because he's now friends with Angie and he doesn't want to upset Angie.
All credit to Mother Teresa, and I'm not kissing his butt. He knows I'm not. But I've never ever heard him call us. But can I ask you one thing?
Not me, Barry's never done it to me.
Listen, because Angie cannot get to me in the way she wants to, she even went for me manager, had her account took down. She goes for me manager every single time. If she can't report her, she threatens she's getting me manager's agency took off her. Do you think that's right? Because she can't get to me, going for those around you. Do you think that's right?
Well, look, you're asking me to do I think it's right? But it's not really for me to comment, is it, Bill? Let's be honest. It's not. Respectfully, it's not. I'm not the person who should be answering that question. The person who should be answering that question.
That's why we're asking you. You can have another conversation. So we're asking you, do you think, as her friend, it's acceptable? Yes or no?
Do I think as her friends it's acceptable for her to contact your manager and tell her about your behaviour? Yeah.
And to get me manager's account, which it is at the minute, she's had me a manager's account took off her. Do you think that's acceptable?
No,
and she's... Sorry.
In hindsight, Pearl, yeah, I think given the behaviour that's been demonstrated on this app over the past couple of weeks, not just by Angie, but by everyone who's sitting in here, because everyone's done it. No one in here is innocent. No one in here is innocent. I think if someone wants... I think if someone wants to highlight behaviour to people, then that should be allowed. Do you know what I mean?
She means Bert. Like, Bert has been attacked by Angie for just being Pearl's manager. It hasn't just stopped at, Pearl's behaviour isn't acceptable. I'm really, upset about it. It's gone further than that, and she's gone really in on Bert. So I'm just asking you, do you feel that it is acceptable for her to do that to Bert?
I think it's acceptable for her to highlight the behaviour, yeah.
I'm not about the behaviour.
But if that's the case, why can't we not highlight his behaviour then? Why is it 8 people bullying a vulnerable lady in a box, but we're not highlighting her behaviour of manipulation? Do you realise that she's a narcissist? Everyone in this box has just apologised for something that they've done to Angie or said about Angie at one point. Angie has never, ever apologised for the disgusting things or the behaviour that she says. That's narcissistic behaviour.
She has, that's
she
why.
Has, but then she'll say, and then with the Teresa, though, fair enough, she will at 9 a.m, yeah, but then by 6 p.m, when she's had her wine, she's calling us a racist again. She's calling Pearl this again. Yeah. So the whole point of it is her apology has been taken back. So I understand what you're saying, and I get you, but I'm saying let us highlight her behaviour then.
Okay,
at this point, if we're doing it all, it's a free fall at this point. So
if you're saying that's acceptable, then
I'm saying it back.
I'm going to tell you now. Let me just clarify this, okay? At no point throughout my conversation or any conversation I've had with anyone here or anyone who's watched this live have I said that it's acceptable for you to be drunk under the influence of alcohol and say what you say, okay? That is not the case. You are an adult, so you own what you say regardless of whether you're under the influence of alcohol or not, okay? What I won't do is I won't sit here and let you all say that she doesn't apologise or she doesn't speak about it, because she does.
No, but she takes it back, Mother Teresa. That was I didn't say you said she couldn't drink. I said when she's sober and of a clear mind, you can have a conversation with Angie sometimes. That was my point. I've had a conversation. It's not always been a back and forth where we've hated each other. We've had conversations and debates. Like, I've been in a box for hours about sensitive topics and subjects. My problem was she'll say something crazy and then she'll apologise. She'll come into my box, she will match, and she'll say like, yeah, all right, okay, I did say that was at border, and I'll be like, yeah, I was winding you up. I did say this, you know what I mean? But then by 6 p.m, she's got 3,000 people in her room saying that I'm racist and I hate white people. It's very detrimental to my platform, mate. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So you're taking your apology back, and all I'm now going to do, if you're going to bully me in that sense, I am going to bully you back. So what I'm trying to say to you is the whole moral side of it is completely taken out when you're having a debate about someone like Angie, because she's a narcissistic person.
Stop me there, darling. Sorry, Paige and Mother Teresa, and this is why I have kind of like hit back today, because Mother Teresa, obviously you're in here watching me. I know that you come in watching me every day as Angie, one of Angie's closest. Can you like vouch for me and say that I don't speak about Angie? I don't. If she talks about me, I'm not speaking her about. I'm not coming on here and dragging her down. I've just took it, and now I've had enough.
Listen, I will say this is the first live that I've seen you on your own platform where you've discussed it as a segment. That's what I will say. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not, because it is, okay? But one thing that I want to point out is, okay, and this is a known fact, and a lot of people will agree with me on this, okay? So, Paige, can I ask you a question? How many times have you been in Angie's live? You've been in there a couple of times.
Yeah, I get intrigued by a lot of things.
Okay. So, I mean, the statements that you're making, you're sitting there, you're saying she makes these bold statements, and everything she says is disgusting. And I didn't
say everything, not everything. I said I don't like the hypocrisy within her. She says some things that are truthful, I'm sure.
Can I ask you the question then? Why do you go back in there?
I've not been back in there since the girl Paris in this live right now. You can see her in the comments. Since I found out that that's the kind of people that are in her live, the same girl that called me a black bitch for just a random argument and like racist messages. I've not actually been back in Angie's box since then. So it's been a few months. I only used to go in there when it was discussions and debates about topics that directly involved myself or my minority group. So if there was things, talking about certain dramas and stuff, you wouldn't find me in there. But if you're talking about racism, if you're talking about stuff like this, as a person who's representing that minority group, I'm allowed to go in there. and I shouldn't be allowed to go in there if she's got 3,000 people. You know, she's putting an opinion out there about people, illegal immigrants, about stuff like that. If you're putting an opinion out, I'm allowed to go in there and have a debate about it or discuss it. But when she sits there and then turns a debate into a free fall on a hate train, because you're taking facts, people are coming in with facts, we're having good conversations, and then as soon as the convo gets a little bit too peaceful, she'll throw someone in the works, like Evil Queen will pop in, or someone like that, blah, 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 or someone in the comments who's been racist, they get brought back up. And that's when it all goes viral again. And that's just one situation with me. Every single person in this box has completely different situations, Mother Teresa, with Angie. So that, like, I'm not trying to be rude to you, but it gets to the point, and I get it, because I've never been friends with her, but the people that have in this room were loyal to her because people are good people. People like to give people chances, and people don't like to judge. So even when your friend acts in a certain way or is a bit crazy, you continue to, to back them, which is what you're doing now, which is respectable. I get what you're doing, but my point is just see it for yourself in the terms of everyone has been burned. How many times are you going to see smoke before you realise a fire's in front of you and you're going to get burnt?
Do you, so respectfully, do you people think I am naive?
No, not naive. I'm just saying it looks... It's a waste of breath. What I'm saying to you, I don't think you're naive. I don't think you don't see what's going on. I'm saying to you, I get what you're saying, but unless you're doing this for, the entertainment purpose and value, but if you genuinely believe what you're saying, it's a waste of breath to us, specifically because everyone's been in your situation and everyone's been burned by her. So in that, what I'm trying to say to you is, you're not naive, but don't ever sit there and think that we're naive or bullies. You misread. Everyone's got massive platforms, pal. They've got big platforms, Mother Teresa, for a reason. They're not silly people. They know exactly how the app works, and they know how people on the app works. And they know how TikTok friends work, etc., etc.
Okay.
Why to speak for? I ain't being addressed, so I don't get why people saying Alex is scared to speak to a man. Is this a joke, really? If I'm not getting addressed, what am I going to answer to? I don't get what the people are saying that for.
I mean, honestly, there is a lot that we could address, but I don't think this is probably the particular live for it.
To be honest with you, I think it's the perfect live for it.
I'm all for it, you know what I mean? If you want to fire out stuff, we can fire out why Angie tried to dox my address online in front of 1,000 people. Do you want to go that way? Do you also want to go about talking about my children for the past 5 days? Do we also want to talk about the stuff that she's done, speak mocking disabilities? Oh, do you want us to talk about that bully room last night, getting that Kaza to have her trauma fucking laughed at and getting abused.
Listen, that wasn't what happened, so I won't let you spin it like that's what happened, because that wasn't what happened at all. All right, so let's go back to the first things, okay? I listened to you before saying that she's calling you a stalker, she's saying stuff like this, okay? The reason why she's doing that is because she was informed that you put a photograph of her bedroom up. Now, I'm unsure why someone would, in their right frame of mind, take a photograph of someone's bedroom and put it up on their platform, so she called you a stalker. That's normal. I think anyone in here would do the same thing.
I put that picture up last night. She's been calling me a stalker for over a month.
I think anyone would do the exact same thing. Do you know what I mean?
I've just answered the question. You've just asked me that, right? You've just literally just said, right, that you put a picture up and that's why she's calling you a stalker. So she called me a stalker for the last month. I only put the picture up last night, Mother Teresa.
Okay, well, I heard about it before last night.
No, you never.
I did. Okay, so the second thing is, we're all sitting here, having this discussion, okay? And you're saying that people are allowed to defend themselves, which they are. I completely agree with, okay? And it's something that I've always said. I always believe you have the right to defend yourself in any situation. But what I don't agree with is you defending yourself and 7 other people giving their opinion on the situation. And then collectively, what happens is everyone sits there and goes, oh, well, I remember when such and such happens. Oh, I remember when such and such happens. Then it becomes a hate train, doesn't it? And that's what happens. Everyone just fuels the hate train. Now, by all means, me sitting here as an adult and saying to you, Alex, don't go on your live later on and talk about Angie, and she won't go on her live and talk about you. It's not going to happen, because we all know it'll happen, okay? Because respectfully, we all sat in a box similar to this about 2 weeks ago, and everyone in that box agreed to walk away from the situation and not talk about each other, okay? But that didn't happen, did it? And that just proves that it doesn't matter what I sit here and say. It doesn't matter what anyone in this box sits here and says on anyone's platform. It's not going to happen. It's still going to be discussed. Because if we stop discussing it, if we're adults and we stop discussing it, the people on the platform will continue to discuss the situation. And that's how it doesn't get resolved. So I think in hindsight, sorry?
We don't care about them and what they say. We care about us that are actually involved. Who cares about everyone else that says whatever?
What do you mean? I don't get
you've said, well, everyone else will talk about it. Well, if us, like the individuals that are actually are involved, that don't speak about it, then that's all that counts, no?
Okay, well, I think that collectively what everyone needs to do is just not discuss the situation, and someone will get bored in the end, won't they? Because let's face it, right?
Work both
Let's
ways,
face it.
though.
Well, I mean, from my perspective, I think it should. I'm not saying that it shouldn't.
So, are you telling me that Angie's going to spark a live up today and not speak about not one of us?
Okay,
Ever again?
can I ask you a question, Pearl? Given the fact that we've just been discussing that you have the right to defend yourself, and given the fact that we're sitting here now on a platform which has got 5,000 people on an
and we've just said bring Angie in, I'm sure she's watching it, ask Angie to come in.
An active discussion's been going on since 10 o'clock, so I do think she has the right to go on her platform and defend herself. So that is okay, but what I'm saying is, in hindsight,
so saying, of course she's going to spark a live up, speak about every which she's going to say some horrible things, where she should be on here, she'll be watching she should be on here, right? And we'll speak one at a time. Somebody's kept putting their 8 onto 1. I've been muted most of the time. Everybody else has been muted. It's not for an argument, not for anything. Why hasn't she been on? Because I know for 1,000,000% she's watching this, but it isn't, because later on she'll light a live up and she'll scandalise each and every one of us.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as I said before, you have the right to defend yourself, don't you? And obviously we've sat here for 1 hour and 42 minutes and discussed it, and she hasn't been on live yet to have her say.
For what she'll do later, basically.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, collectively as adults, I think what needs to happen is everyone just needs to agree to disagree, don't they? Because no one's going to solve a situation. No one on this platform is adult enough, No one on this platform is adult enough to go on, make a truce, and then not continue it, because we already...
Hang on, sweetheart, darling, I've got to stop you there, because that's what we did. We went into her room and we made a truce. When I did a truce, I meant to...
It was only you that I haven't seen who's been on and spoke about the situation.
Oh, what? And I've obviously been on every single day.
Alex spoke about 24 hours after that.
Sorry, a minute. Say that again, MT.
I've seen you in chats talking about it when Alex has been live.
Saying
stuff. Well, collectively, I won't know from the top of my head at the minute. I'd need to go back and research.
Well, then it's not true. We go on proof, do we not?
That's fine.
Can I say something?
Yeah, I work on proof.
Miss Red,
I work on proof, that's fine.
Miss Red, could I just say something? Can you hear me, by the way?
We can hear you.
Sorry, because my phone's been playing up. I just want to say this and go, because, you know, I just don't want to be in a drama room. I've had people messaging me this morning, sending me videos saying, is this you, SJ? There's another SJ apparently called Erica. I've got nothing to do with what the hell has been going on, so it's not me, because I've had people sending me messages saying, is this you, SJ, in Angie's or whoever's live? I don't know whose, whether it was Angie's, Alex, whatever, because I haven't looked. I'm quite upset about it, if I'm honest, but it wasn't me, just to let you know. It's not me, okay? So there is more than one SJ on the app, so I'm just going to drop down just to let people know.
Are you getting hate from it, SJ?
Yes, I am, yeah.
Answer that, please.
Where's this SJ originate from? I don't know anything about it.
I can confirm, right, that the lady that said that vile comment is not SJ that's in the box right now. But I think what it is, SJ, you went in Angie's live last night, early hours of this morning. I
went to 4 a.m. I
think people are just putting 2 and 2 together. I think that's all it is.
Okay, I went in at 4 a.m. I didn't know what had gone on. I woke up, I seen that she was crying. I don't go in Angie's live a lot, maybe now and again I go in. I mean, I did go in the other week and then I had my number doc straight away. But I seen this woman was upset. So I literally went in, Mazza was in there, and she was having an anxiety attack, or what looked like an anxiety attack to me. So I was telling her to do the breathing, 4 in, hold for 4 out. And that's all I did. And then I went out.
Okay.
So that's all that was done. I just went in to help somebody. So whether it was fake or not, I don't know, but that's who I am and that's what I do. So it wasn't me. So I'm going to drop down now and let you all get on. Have a good day, everyone.
You too. Thanks for clarifying that, SJ.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Look, at the end of the day, I can sit here as an adult, and this is what I swear by 100%. I've only got my I've only got my truth, yeah? And my truth is I don't lie about a situation. I only go in based on what I see, what is fact, and what I witness myself, okay? That's the only reason you'll ever see me in a box. That's the only thing anyone can ever say. You'll only ever see me in a box talking about a situation if I can talk fact. You'll only ever see me have an argument with someone if it's fact. Because if it's fictional, there's no point me going in because I won't win the argument, okay? So that's what you've got to know.
Listen, you still never answered me question. If it's fact. So do you still, if it gets boring in Angie's live, go around and cause a carry-on with people to get reactions out of them?
I do, yeah.
So, as well as Angie, you all go on this cam 2, cam 3, whatever it is, you have a look who's on live and you go in, you start trolling. Is that acceptable? Because to me, you keep saying you're an adult, we all adults that's in here, but I wouldn't go around purposely and do that.
Okay, well, I think you misunderstanding it. It's not a case of we go live, we cam 2 people, we watch them to go in and cause an argument. That's childish. That's not what I do. What I do is if I'm sitting there bored and there's nothing for me to do, then I'll look for something to keep me entertained. And the best thing for me to keep me entertained, Pearl, is an argument. Do you not agree? Because that's what you all come on TikTok for. I haven't seen one positive thing.
I don't come on TikTok for an argument.
Yeah, I definitely.
I take that back. Hold on.
I mean, I do poetry, dude. Like, we're not all here. We're not all here for Angie vibes.
Tell a lie. I take that back. The only positive thing I actually did see was Luke's talent show the other week. I actually thought that was the most positive thing that I'd seen on TikTok in a while. But collectively, the past couple of weeks, no one who's sitting in this box or anyone who's live I've been in can say that they've done something which is positive towards this app. Because all I've seen is a gang of bitches. Because that's all we all.
Is that an actual joke? You don't obviously clearly know any of our platforms. We've literally, as individuals, we've done a lot for positivity for this app and for other people off app as well. That's a crazy statement.
I can't hear who that is talking. I can't hear that. Whoever that is who's talking, say that again.
It's me. Can you hear me now?
It's Paige.
Go on, I can hear you now. Sorry.
That's a crazy. The fact that you just said that no one like in this box does anything positive, like on app or off app. That's a crazy. Like, have you even been in any of our rooms? Do you watch any of us? Like my team specifically themselves just donated like over 10 hampers to women in refuges who have survived DV and SA and stuff like that. That was all pure donations from my team, from being on lives. We sat on lives for hours gathering people like to get donations and stuff like that. Everyone's done completely different things and amazing things on this app. I think that's a weird statement to say when all Angie does is sit there, take people's money, spend it on red wine and then spit at people on a screen. That's a wild statement to make, and you're making yourself look more and more like your points are valid and you are calm, but just because you've got a calm demeanor and you can like articulate yourself in a certain way and you make yourself sound like you're not gaslighting doesn't mean you're not gaslighting. Like, I'll be so honest.
So can I ask you, I'm going to take that, but can I just ask you the question then? So the fact that you're sitting in here now discussing someone's behaviour doesn't point out, yeah? So the fact that you're sitting in here now discussing behaviour doesn't point out that this live's been toxic. Because the behaviour's been displayed all over the place. It's not just been displayed from Angie.
And like, I understand what you're trying to say, but you just sit there and said, can I just finish it and then I'll stop?
All you've been
you're saying toxic though, Mother Teresa, but you've just literally made 1 minute ago, you're sitting there saying, when Angie does it, okay, you're saying that it's highlighting people's behaviour. No, please understand and realise the difference. I'll come into Miss Red's box, I can go into Pearl's box, I can go into anyone's on this live and talk about really deep, okay, conversations, triggering conversations. And I'm not going to leave crying because I'm triggered or angry because I've been wound up and I've been gaslit and I've been abused and bullied. I can have calm conversations. I've not everyone thinks in Angie's life that I'm some screaming person. All I do is shout. I'm so ghetto, I swear. I've not swore once. I've not raised my voice. I talk quick because of ADHD. That's it. I've not raised my voice. I've not felt attacked in this box, but I can still have a conversation with you about Angie, with Angie herself, with Miss Red, and about other topics, not about an individual. My point is that's highlighting behaviour. That's discussing things. What in Angie's life, that is toxic. When you're getting people, you're putting one person in the middle and then you're getting 8 people around specifically to target that person, and they're not people that are sitting there articulating themselves and having a calm conversation. They're people that are saying the most outward like controversial things. It's boring at this point. So my point is, I get what you're saying, but the whole moral side of it does not apply when it comes to Angie, because toxic, is what you breathe, then toxic what you're going to receive. When you live with the devil for so long, I don't understand what you're going to expect. You're living in hell, like you are the devil. That's what happens.
But then collectively, you could say that about everyone who's sitting in here because we all do the
But
same,
we're
don't
not
we?
sitting on. I'm not triggering at my live. I've never once got my live and run up a live, and then after Angie, everyone's doing this as a reaction. You're sitting there moaning at people for having a reaction to an action. Moan at the person everyone is reacting to. It's one person, Mother Teresa. If 8 people are reacting to one person, you're saying that we're all the problem.
Sorry,
Can I just say something?
Reacting to one person, and I'm saying it. Go on.
Okay, I don't go live and I don't slag anybody off, and I will go into Pill's live and she's amazing. I'll go in Miss Red's, she's amazing, and I do go into Angie's live when she's having a decent discussion.
Yeah.
Ange, I've been on this app about 2 months now. Ange is getting more onto the alcohol. Don't have a got me, Mother Teresa, because she is. And she's starting to look really poorly. Really thin, really poorly. You're telling me that she's got a drinking problem, yeah? Miss Mother Teresa?
Sorry?
Has Ange got a drinking problem?
I can't determine that, can I? It's not for me to
So to the point where she drinks every night, I don't know how many bottles of red wine, you're telling me you do not think she's looking poorly. As a friend, do you think she's looking poorly?
Okay, so from my perspective, no, because I see the exact same as what I've seen it in some.
She is Mother Teresa. She does.
But you've known it.
So you don't think?
From what I've seen.
Okay, if that was a friend what lived next door to you, and you've seen her, and don't forget, I've only been on this at 2 months. Over the 2 months, Ange is looking really poorly. I'm not slagging her off, and I'm not, because she's never done up to me.
Okay.
But all I'm noticing is Ange is starting to look really poorly.
Right, okay.
And to the point where she's got blue teeth, and she's showing all the signs of alcohol poison, alcohol addiction. And if you're telling me that she doesn't look like she drinks too much.
Okay, so I'm going to give you. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a bit of background to me. So I come from a professional background in relation to my job. So I'm very knowledgeable in relation to policies, procedures, processes, law that's applied in certain situations. So I can categorically tell you that we can all sit here and say that someone needs help here. But regardless, there is not a thing that any of us sitting here can do about it. The only person who can actually do anything about it is Angie herself. So it doesn't matter whether we all sit here and scream and shout, I think she's an alcoholic, I don't think she's an alcoholic. No one in here, collectively can do anything about it apart from Angie. So the fact that you all sit here and you say, all them people in the boxes are enablers and they need to sort Angie out, it is not my responsibility.
I'm not saying that, I'm just saying, as a friend,
but that is what you're saying.
And I'm not, but as a friend, don't you think you could have a word with her?
Okay.
Like saying that she's drinking too much. I know she's an adult, and I know that people are saying that she's not vulnerable, and you're saying, beginning, when you came into this message, when you came into this live, you said she was vulnerable because of the alcohol. Did you not say that?
Yeah, that is correct. Alcoholism.
Yeah, it is. But as a friend, I'm not having a go at Ange because I don't really know anybody. I watch you and I don't know you personally. But all I'm saying is, how far are you going to let Ange go with her drinking till you turn around and say enough is enough with it?
Okay.
As a friend.
Sorry,
I'm not having a go at you.
No,
I'm not having a go at you.
There's not, Mother Teresa, there's not really much that he can do collectively as a person, but as a friend, maybe, yeah. But
as a friend.
Yeah, he can't
as a friend
remove the bottle away from her or anything.
No, I know he can. I know she can't. I know he can't, and I'm not saying that he can, and I'm not saying that everything he can do miracles, but as a friend, because you've all said when Angie's not had a drink, Ange doesn't say half of the words or the nastiness what she does say when she's had a drink. Does that make sense?
I understand where you're coming from, T. I really get where you're coming from. But as a TikTok friend, like, there's not a lot that any of them can do. Do you know what I mean? the powerless in that respect. Like, if she chooses to drink, it's on her. You know, when she gets herself into states, whatever she says, it's on herself. It's not on Mother Teresa or anybody, Mazza or anybody else in the box. Do you know what I mean? But I do get where you're coming from, but it's not on anyone that's around her. It would be a family or, you know, real life friends that would have that, you know.
You also have to look at it from a different perspective as well. So you look at the fact that, you know, she may be socially isolated. We're all about social cohesion. We know social cohesion makes situations better. And you have to look into the background as to why someone drinks. Actually, I don't know. I don't know why she has a drink, and no one in here knows why she has a drink. The only person who knows that is Angie, and if Angie wants to fix that, that's Angie's responsibility to do so. You know, I can't sit here and determine someone's an alcoholic because they drink a bottle of wine and they might get absolutely twatted. Because I know people who drink 4 bottles of wine, and then, you know, we look and say, well, what is it? Is it social drinking? Because we know that's what happens. People drink socially, don't they? But you have to look at the situation, and unfortunately, it's not my job to determine someone's path that they need to follow to get their end goal.
Yeah,
and
I know.
The issue is collectively, you can all sit here and you can all say she's an alcoholic, but then more fool you, isn't it? Because everyone who's highlighting the fact that she may be an alcoholic or she may have an issue, then I feel sorry for you, the fact that you've got to sit there and highlight it as a problem, and then not condoning a behaviour. Yeah, so I'm not condoning a behaviour, and never once have I ever said that it is acceptable to say anything that anyone says because they are under the influence of alcohol. That is fact.
Am I feeling sorry for you then, Mother Teresa, when she's sitting there calling me a peddler? So you sitting there and you really doing the same thing with her about that? Am I, like...
Say that again, sorry.
How you've just said you feel sorry for us, calling her alcoholic.
Yeah.
Right? So am I feeling sorry for you because you sitting there and you're not ever saying, come on, Angie, you can't say them things when she calls me a peddler?
But then, Pearl, I watch people in your boxes and your people don't tell you that you can't say them things. They sit there and laugh, so it's double standards, isn't it?
You've just like highlighted this bit here. Like,
you said that we're talking. You said you feel sorry for us.
Yeah. You said you feel sorry for us.
I said to feel sorry for anyone who has to highlight the fact that alcoholism is an issue with someone.
Well, you said
Okay, so MT, can I just highlight why we're doing it on a social media platform though, and there's more than one of us? So in your normal household, if you're at home, you've got family or friends, and someone suffers from alcoholism, you have that discussion, or the intervention at home within your home family, because it affects the people directly in your house. It's not affecting the random lady at the school. It's not affecting the postman. It's not affecting the milkman. However, Angie's alcoholism on a social media platform where she has influence is actually affecting masses of people. It's affecting more than just one person, and then it's not just affecting them. It's affecting their livelihoods, how they feel. Like some people use TikTok, as for their job. This is their job. So now when she's got 3,000 people running into people's rooms, calling people peddlers, calling people racist, calling people this, calling people that, doxing addresses, etc., etc., that alcoholism is now impacting multiple people. And it's not just, should we just block her and ignore it? Because why the hell? I'm sick of this app always endorsing and enabling the people that are causing the main action in the first place, and then everyone else is reacting from it that is triggered from their own personal traumas. We're the bad people, but and we don't know why Angie drinks. Okay, well, you don't know why we went into a box to talk about something that's triggering when she's sitting there talking about such sensitive topics. It either works both ways or it can't work at all, Mother Teresa.
Listen,
and the thing with Angie, she can't sit there and cry victim. If she didn't sit there and cry victim, no, my point is her. I'm saying her because you're defending her. My point is if she weren't sitting there on her lives crying her little eyes out, being like, they bully me, but then the next day attacking masses of people, going to minority groups and making people feel like they can't go on a social media platform, they can't click live themselves because 3,000 people are sitting there watching her. I've had people come into my live, people have said like, I'm slightly autistic, and she's made me feel scared to come in live because I know that if I went into her live, if I go around anyone that's around her, I'm going to get hate for it. Like, she makes me not want to come on TikTok because there's trolls like her with big platforms.
Okay, well, if that's how you feel, that's a discussion that you need to have with Angie, isn't it? As I said, in my opinion, I think that if anyone needs to highlight a situation as alcoholism in an argument, I feel sorry for you. Not just alcoholism, any argument, but that's just my opinion. So I'm not here collectively speaking on...
I didn't say anything bad about Angie.
I never said that. I just said that.
But you just said I should feel sorry for myself for bringing up her alcohol. But didn't she say a few weeks she was going into rehab?
Yeah, she did.
For her drinking.
Yeah.
So she's made that highlighted herself she's got a problem.
Okay. And she's allowed to do that? Yeah, she did.
Yeah. So all I said was that she was starting to look poorly from it. And I wasn't saying anything nasty. And I haven't got a nasty thing to say about her. I shouldn't feel sorry for myself when I said that, because she said that, saying that she was going into rehab.
Yeah. I never said that you did say anything nasty. What I said was, you said that I should approach it, and as I said, it's not my responsibility to rectify
yeah, and I know.
But so this is the thing. People say, people will come on here and say, you said such and such, when that isn't actually what I've said. If you sit there and listen to what it is that I said, I didn't say that. What I said, I didn't say that. That wasn't the statement that I made. I didn't say that you said something nasty. I just said that I won't take responsibility because it's not my responsibility to rectify someone who thinks that they have an issue with alcohol. So
then you said I should feel sorry for it. I should feel sorry that I brought alcohol into an argument.
I said people should. I didn't say you.
Yeah, but why should we? Because she's the one who brought up last week that she was going into rehab for her alcohol.
Okay, so the fact that you've come in this box to highlight an issue with her being an alcoholic and use that as your issue for being here is...
I didn't. All I said was that I feel like over the 2 months I've been on, I've seen a downcline in her, not behaviour, but in her looks, and that is all I'm saying. Not in a nasty way. It's just that.
It's just an observation. Being a viewer, an observation.
Okay. I'm not saying she can't. I'm not sitting here saying she can't have an observation, but I'm just sitting here saying you can't say it's my responsibility when it's not my responsibility.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You get me?
Hear from Barbie. Can I say something? Because I was in the box last night, and I can't believe, Mother Teresa, that you are defending. I don't care if she was drunk or not, but the way the things she said last night, people should report Pearl to the social because of her grandkids. Miss Red was everything just because she joined Alex's live. Alex's live was address was doxed that night. You know, there was so many things. I was even a transphobic, and I'm trans. I am transphobic because I went into the box, into Angie's life, and texted, and I was so disappointed on her. Then she ran on me. If you knew what she have sent me in DMs back when me and Pearl just made up and became best friends, became BFF, as I say, it's crazy, and I don't care if you say but I think if you go in and tell her that she has something problem with alcohol, and I'm not telling you that she have, but if I will 100% say, if you go in and speak with her about the alcohol thing, 1 or 2 weeks you out. Because that is what she's going through, and I work as a care helper. Her skin is gray. Her skin is so gray. There's something wrong, and I'm so sorry to say it, but there is something. The way she spoke last night about everybody, that is horrible. She is a vile person, and I don't care if she was drunk or not or whatever she was on. That was crazy last night for fucking 5 hours.
Okay. Well, I didn't, honestly, I didn't watch most of last night because I was in bed early, so I didn't see what happened last night.
in the box.
I haven't seen any videos or anything as of yet. But
I'll drop down so you can let other people in, and then I'll come back up.
What I can say...
Well, stay there. T, do you mind if I drop you down now, darling?
Because Jem's in the box.
Time. Thank you for joining, love.
What I can say is most of the things that I've witnessed on this app over the past couple of weeks that everyone's done is in retaliation to behaviour from other people. So the argument is just tit for tat. So we could all sit here all day. Yeah, we could all sit here all day and have arguments forward and back. And it doesn't matter, because what's going to happen is everyone's going to carry on arguing and no one's going to stop, because not one person can be adult enough and take themselves away from a situation.
So where's Paige? Is Paige gone now?
Yeah, Paige is gone.
But why is Paige gone, Miss Red? Sorry.
She's just dropped from the box,
So how did Paige get in the box?
What do you mean?
How did Paige get risen?
She requested the box and I put her in.
Do you know who she is?
She come in because I was talking about Angie and she doesn't like
yes.
Yeah, okay, but do you know who Paige is, Miss Red?
No.
So how come you let her have such a strong opinion on your platform if you don't know her then?
Everybody gets to jump in the box, Jam.
All right, Sam, I'm here now, yeah? Ears all open. Last night I stayed up all night so I could jump in boxes to get Pearl in and out these boxes, yeah? Not once, Pearl, have I heard you say, get Gemma in the box, get Gemma in the box. Once I've heard you say it, yeah? I've been sat here for the last half an hour.
Gemma,
So, Paige...
I've texted Miss Red and asked for you to come in the box. I can't control who's getting in this box.
Yeah, well, Miss Red should be looking who's in the fucking... She should be looking who's in the queue then.
Right,
yeah?
well, no, there'll be lots, Gems. I have asked, so please, either calm down, Gems. What have you come on like this for?
One, I'm tired, yeah. Two, who's Paige? Is Paige known more than me? Paige is talking about TikTok. She ain't been on TikTok for 4 years like me.
Just chill for a minute. Just chill for a minute.
No, I'm not, Miss Red. Why are you letting people talk on your platform that are irrelevant to the app?
Because they're still part of the app, Jem.
Why are you letting her run your platform?
You what, Jem?
Why are you letting her run your platform? Was Paige even there last night?
Paige is like, yes, Paige is involved, Jem.
No, she weren't there last night. Pearl, was Paige there last night, yes or no?
She's involved.
I've never seen her, but listen, please, Gems, stop this. If you're tired, please stop this
I don't care. Why are you letting people talk that... I know what?
Because